The air hung heavy, thick with the scent of illicit tea and whispered promises. The atmosphere was dense, almost suffocating, as if the very walls held secrets too dangerous to be spoken aloud. A hidden room, tucked away in the bowels of a bustling Shanghai teahouse, held its breath. This clandestine space, known only to a select few, was a sanctuary for those who dared to dream the impossible. 6 figures, shadows dancing in the dim light, huddled around a rough map. Their faces, partially obscured by the flickering candlelight, were etched with determination and a hint of desperation. The plan was audacious. Some would say insane. It was a scheme that required not just courage, but a willingness to embrace the unknown and the dangerous. Their target, the Shanghai Central Bank, a fortress of money and power. This institution was more than just a bank. It was a symbol of the very system that had oppressed them. The group, a motley crew of China's forgotten children, were driven by desperation and a thirst for retribution. Each had a story, a past marred by injustice and hardship. Each member carried the scars of a system that had failed them. These were not just physical scars, but deep emotional wounds that fueled their resolve. Their leader, known only as Dragon, exuded a quiet intensity, his eyes burning with unwavering resolve. He was a man of few words, but each one carried weight and purpose. "This is our chance," Dragon's voice, a low growl, cut through the silence. His words were like a spark in the darkness, igniting a sense of purpose in the room. To strike back at the ones who stole our futures. His declaration was met with silent nods, each person understanding the gravity of what lay ahead. His words, heavy with unspoken truths, ignited a fire in the hearts of his companions. They knew the risks, but the promise of retribution was too powerful to ignore. They were ready to risk it all. For them, this was not just a heist, it was a chance to reclaim their dignity and rewrite their destinies. The plan was intricate, a delicate dance of timing and misdirection. Every second counted, every move had to be precise. They knew that one misstep could spell disaster. They studied the bank's blueprints, memorized guard routines, and analyzed every camera angle. Hours were spent poring over the details, ensuring nothing was left to chance. Each detail, no matter how small, was scrutinized and re-scrutinized. They knew that the devil was in the details, and they couldn't afford to overlook anything. Their lives depended on it. The stakes were high, and the pressure was immense. Every member of the team felt the weight of what they were about to undertake. Weeks melted into months as they honed their skills, transforming themselves from street rats into a well-oiled machine. They trained relentlessly, pushing their bodies and minds to the limit. They trained in abandoned warehouses, the city's skyline a jagged silhouette against the night sky. These places became their sanctuaries, where they could focus and prepare without distractions. Each swing of the sledgehammer, every crackle of the police scanner brought them one step closer to their destiny. They knew that their hard work would pay off. Dragon, a master strategist, instilled in them an unyielding discipline. His leadership was the glue that held the team together, his vision the beacon that guided them. He pushed them to their limits, knowing that anything less than perfection would be their downfall. His relentless drive inspired them to give their all. As the day of the heist drew nearer, a palpable tension filled the air, a volatile mix of fear and anticipation. They knew that everything they had worked for was about to be put to the ultimate test. The countdown had begun, and there was no turning back. A cold drizzle painted the city in shades of gray, casting a melancholic veil over the bustling metropolis. The rain fell steadily, each drop a tiny hammer against the concrete jungle. As the crew moved into position, their dark clothes blending seamlessly with the gloomy surroundings, they exuded an air of determination and purpose. Each step they took was calculated, every movement precise. The streets, slick with rain, reflected the neon glow of the city that never sleeps. The vibrant colors of the signs danced on the wet pavement, creating a surreal, almost dreamlike atmosphere. Inside the bank, oblivious to the storm brewing outside, employees went about their daily routines. The hum of conversations and the clatter of keyboards filled the air, a stark contrast to the tension building just beyond the walls. The clock ticked past 9 a.m., the signal. It was a moment that seemed insignificant to most, but for the crew, it was the catalyst for the chaos that was about to unfold. The silence of the morning shattered as a thundering explosion ripped through the bank's main entrance. Chaos erupted, the force of the blast sending debris flying and shattering windows. Screams pierced the air, blending with the shrill cries of alarms. Panic spread like wildfire, the once orderly bank now a scene of utter pandemonium. The Dragon's team, faces hidden behind masks of ancient warriors, moved with ruthless efficiency. Their movements were synchronized, each member knowing their role to perfection. Civilians scattered, trampling over each other in their desperation to escape the carnage. Fear gripped their hearts, driving them to flee without thought or direction. The air, thick with smoke and the acrid scent of gunpowder, crackled with tension. Visibility was low, the haze adding to the confusion and fear that permeated the room. Gunfire erupted, each shot a hammer blow to the heart of the city's complacency. The sound was deafening, a brutal reminder of the fragility of peace in a world teetering on the edge of chaos.